brothers. Koronan Sileria Uzumahok.
You know what's really good on Twitter?
Yes.
When I start talking about politics and everyone's like, stick to video games, shut up.
It's like an actor, right? Like if they say anything about politics, they must have no idea what they're talking about.
I know, right?
But actually, Raph has no idea what he's talking about.
Correct. I get all my talking points from the liberal media. But today I got my talking points from Sarah Huckabee Sanders,
yes,
who is the White House press secretary and retired Jerry Springer actor.
Yes.
She announced today that Donald Trump is actually going to be hosting a meeting with representatives of the video games industry to discuss gun violence. This is going to end really well, I'm sure.
Very, very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Now listen, you may love Donald Trump, that's fine.
We're not here to talk
about
about
Trump,
Trump
about our views on Trump.
Nothing like that.
Because I'm not the biggest fan of that
I
man.
thought we weren't going to go there.
But I will say that if you happen to
man.
like that man, then good on you, and I'm very happy for you. That's not what this discussion is about today. This is a discussion about an upcoming meeting affecting the video games industry, which could have some pretty massive ramifications given the way that this administration likes to make decisions about things. So what the news came out this week from the press secretary that Donald Trump is going to be sitting down with representatives of the video games industry to talk about, you know, how to reduce gun violence.
It's crazy that we've even got to the point where the president is going to be sitting down with people and talking about video games and gun violence. Has any president before this done that?
I'm very sure that during the 90s,
maybe
you know, when it was all happening, I'm sure there was a meeting with Clinton. I'm sure Obama's maybe had some conversation. I don't know, I'm guessing. But, you know, talking about the link between video games and violence is an old, you know, old tactic.
Yes.
That people love to employ. It's the most obvious scapegoat in the world. Anytime anything goes wrong, it's like, quick, what should we do, guys? Let's blame comic books.
Yeah, comic books first.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Movies.
And of course video games.
No, you forgot rap music, man.
Oh, rap music too. That's the latest
Totally,
one. What's
that's
going to be
right.
the next one that they blame? I don't know.
Virtual reality.
Hyperloops from Tesla or some shit when they come out.
Absolutely. Elon Musk's flamethrowers.
Yes,
Fuck that guy. And
that's the next thing, guys.
Unbelievable, man. But the go-to has always been, let's blame video games, because obviously if you're simulating shooting someone, it's exactly the same as shooting someone.
Of course.
That's why I rip out so many people's spines these days.
I know. I always do X-ray moves after when I'm doing a fatality.
Correct. The obvious link here is this idea that there's some sort of connection between video games and violence. And it's important to reiterate once again that there has been no study that has conclusively proven that there is a link between those two things. And anyone watching this channel, anyone who's ever played a video game, is immediately going to be able to attest to the fact that video games do not make you more violent unless you're playing League of Legends.
Yes, then vocally you become a lot more violent. And
physically
you tend
as well.
to
And
punch a lot more monitors. So I think it's actually pretty concerning that the President of the United States is going to be sitting down and talking about an issue that isn't really backed by any data. Like,
no science whatsoever. Donald Trump ignoring science?
True.
That's
that
ridiculous.
never happens.
That would never happen,
that
man.
Never happens.
Please
right?
stop.
Climate change is wrong.
That's absolutely right. Clean coal, it's a thing, man. Trust us.
Wrong.
We have one more question from Ken Bone about energy policy. Ken?
Wrong.
Now, the most fascinating thing about this meeting was that it was leaked by Rolling Stone magazine, so already we have a music magazine talking about the fact that there's a video game meeting taking place, and the ESA, which is the Entertainment Software Association, actually has no idea that this meeting is taking place, nor do any of its members know that this is a thing either. The ESA is the peak representative body for video games. If you're going to have a meeting with the industry about video games, you're going to do it through the ESA, and they don't know anything about it. So the big question is, who the hell is going to this meeting?
Okay, let's just wonder who's going to be there. We don't know yet, but let's just go through a list of potentially who's going to be there and why they would be there.
I think absolutely Andrew Wilson of EA is going to be there.
Business ethics, he's going to be there to talk about
business ethics.
Guys, we're wasting time talking about these guns. We need to be talking about loot boxes and how to sell more of them.
Ultimate Team.
And an Ultimate Team.
We need to talk more
Trump's
about
like,
Ultimate Team.
Tell me more about that.
Yes.
You know? I think absolutely the ESA will be in the room. I mean, they haven't been invited yet, but they provide such important, insightful, detailed answers to questions. There's no way that Trump could miss out on that.
When was the last time you saw a Chevrolet in Tokyo?
I cannot answer that.
And I think also Anita Sarkeesian is going to be there. Of course, we need to have women represented correctly there.
Correct. And she's very popular with the broader gaming community, so she's a very good voice for all of us.
And whenever she walks into a developer house, you know, everyone's happy that she's gone and seen the product before other people have.
Unfortunately, this does mean that Humongous will have to decline the invitation.
Yes, Humongous will not be there.
There's just a lot of beef.
Humongous.
Humongous what?
But PewDiePie thankfully will, and he'll be there representing the issue of people of color representation. That's an expertise that PewDiePie has,
Definitely.
and it's important that perspective is in the room
That's
as well.
very true.
So if we're making light of this situation, it's because it's fucking ridiculous,
Yes.
and it deserves to be made fun of.
I just think to sit down, you know, with... I think there are going to be a lot of powerful people in the industry there. The President of the United States is going to be there, of course, and to be talking about this issue... I think it's, you know, it's not backed by data. It's you know, I think it's an scapegoat really about, you know, wanting to label, you know, a potential solution to a big problem. So
Correct.
I just think it's silly.
But look, at the same time, I do think it's encouraging that America is having this conversation about potentially banning and censoring video games to curb violence. Because in Australia, we actually had our own issue with mass shootings in the
of
past.
course.
And so what we did here in Australia is that we banned all the violent video games.
Mario, Kirby
Correct.
games, they're all out.
And since then, we've had no mass shootings. So all America needs to do is ban the same things that we banned, and then there'll be no more mass shootings.
I agree.
So,
and all the people in other countries are like, did they ban games? No, we didn't.
right, and that's why Japan is also going to stop
Yes.
being the mass shooting capital of the world,
All-
because they're also going to ban their games.
All those Godzilla attacks, they're gone now, alright? There's no
Correct.
more Godzilla movies.
They had
I
a-
haven't seen any since.
They had a ban on Godzillas, actually, in
Yes,
Japan,
they
and that
did.
has worked really well.
They needed to.
We're really glad this is happening. America, we wish you the best of luck. Mr. Trump, we're sure that you will handle this issue deftly, subtly, with tremendous insight,
Yes.
with the nuance that's required to be able to appropriately tackle this issue. We're very glad that you're at the helm of this.
Yeah, and just make games great again.